Right, I guess pick up his boot first if you do actually need it.
I mean, it did kind of feel like he woke up,
Waited,
dropped to the floor, realised one of his feet was unbooted, and then died.
Yeah,
Is that what?
I have a feeling that's what they're saying, but I actually cannot tell you why that makes any sense.
Really? Because I would have thought there'd be a perfectly rational explanation for what that was.
Oh, my head.
No! What?
What happened? Laura?
Yes, Steve. I was so worried about you. Are you all right?
How did he get down
I
there?
think so. I remember hearing somebody coming up behind me, and as I turned around, somebody slugged me. Cripes, my head hurts.
They must have dumped you down the coal chute. Let me see where you were hit.
The end of which
I'm
was
all right,
where?
I'm all right. Don't touch it.
Honestly, you men can be such crybabies. Do you think you can walk? We have to get out of here. Somebody's been murdering everybody in this museum, and whoever it is after me.
I can make it. I'm with you. Where do we go?
Good question.
Oh, there's another shovel over here.
Do we go through that
This
door?
isn't a...
I mean, it seems like a cool door to go
This
through.
door is locked.
Well, can I use the skeleton key, or is it just the skeleton key?
While this...
No, I can't. The skeleton key literally opens one thing.
This door is...
Right, I don't...
The grate covering the drain is firmly bolted in place. Fortunately, there's nothing in the drain you require, and it's far too narrow for a human to enter.
Maybe we can go through the right-hand side. Maybe there's like an exit.
Doesn't look like it. Is this important? Oh, it bloody well is.
Yes.
I mean, of course there'd be another chute next to the chute. But behind an Egyptian steel. Oh no. Two pairs of eyes. Oh no, snakes. What's this say?
How strange. Hieroglyphs are carved into the wall. You get the feeling that this is not just another air shaft.
Oh, nice. I thought we ran out after the last time.
Maybe she just knew that we needed to save some. Should we take that?
Don't
I don't think
touch
you
it.
can.
Don't.
I think it's liquid.
Oh, doesn't look like liquid. Now it's an army
You
of
hear the
these
sound
guys.
of gunfire from the direction of the furnace room.
Do we have cheese?
Sounds like
Yeah,
someone's
we do have
chasing us,
shapes.
Laura.
While this...
Oh,
The rats devour the cheese in a split second. It only made them hungry.
I think you may have had to throw it past them.
Oh. Do you mean just feeding them in place?
Yeah.
Wasn't the strategy? My god, those rats are... something else.
Rats are no good. They bite you.
Do you really think that those rats would have just taken the two of these guys down? Is this a real life situation? Is this like something that could have happened?
What, rats eating?
Wouldn't they just run
people?
away?
They could be pretty violent.
Can they?
I think cornered. Admittedly they're not cornered.
No,
so
we're
I don't-
cornered. Come to me. Bye-bye.
Surely these snakes are going to eat all those rats.
Well, yeah, did they not have a rat-snake collision?
No, the snakes just disappeared.
Well, maybe the rats ate the snakes.
Well, that would be a weird flip around.
You hear the sound of gunfire from the direction of the furnace room.
Who's shooting down
Sounds like
there?
someone's chasing us, Laura.
What, with their bullets? Hey, go jump. You made the right move there. I'm hoping we can save, because I don't want to keep doing that one was
You
a bit more
watch and
cautious.
release as the last of the rats scurries out of sight. You can barely smell an unpleasant odour, like burning hair.
Oh, they jumped down into a furnace.
Yeah, so I guess we don't go down there then. I guess we go to the other one. This is a dead end, right? So I guess we go down this one.
It can only make sense that one would be a furnace and this one would be...
Passageway.
Yeah. What the hell?
Wait. Ah, nice. Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is going on? Why is
you
there
got
a
your
tunnel
banana.
through the dinosaur head?
You got your T-Rex chomp.
I did, but... Come on. What?
That was crazy.
There's so much wrong with everything.
That last chapter was insane.
It was... yeah. I didn't expect to be exhausted by
An
this,
impressive showing for your first day on the job.
given how boring it was at the beginning.
Thank you for coming to this inquest, Miss Bow. As the coroner on this case, I'm going to informally question you and study the evidence you've collected. If you assist me in developing a case, the perpetrators will be tried in the formal court of law.
Oh, right.
We're primarily concerned with the museum murders, but we're also interested in the theft of the Dagger of Amon and other matters that may have a bearing on this case. My examination of the corpses has been fruitful, but I need more evidence to build a case. Any information you can give us would help, but you must justify your conclusions with the evidence you've acquired.
Oh.
False accusations and unsupported conclusions will not be tolerated. Although I don't wish to pressure you, your employer is also here to judge your performance on this investigation.
I mean, this
Since
seems
this is
completely
an informal
normal after
proceeding,
being
I've
chased by a
allowed it on the
murderer.
basis that your newspaper will cooperate with our wishes. Now, to the questions. Who murdered Dr. Pippin Carter?
What a weird game. Okay. Was it... where is he?
Detective
Him.
Ryan Hanrahan.
Do we think he did all of it?
I don't see why he wouldn't have.
Yeah, alright.
Who's dead, right? Carrington's dead. Pippin's dead. Delacroix dead.
Leech.
Leech is dead.
Watney Little is dead
Ziggy's
because he was
dead.
him. So yeah, he got killed by him. We
Yeah.
think. And
Yeah, so he got killed by him.
and then
But
did
I
he
think
just
all the
kill?
ones going on here
It's just him.
is gonna be him, right?
I mean, all I'm going on is the fact that the lady said O'Reilly, and there are
I'm going on
ginger
the fact that
hairs
it seems-
everywhere now.
Yeah, it does seem like that seems to be the move.
As to why, I'm not really sure.
Well, the first one, this would have been his initial kill, right?
Yeah. Oh wow, there's some options here. Fear. The thrill of it.
No,
I mean,
no,
he
this
certainly
would have
was
been-
nuts. Was it financial gain?
I think that's the only one that actually makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's not any of the rest of them.
No, I don't see it. I mean,
This was him getting killed. So he got killed with a blow to the head with the ankh or something,
yes.
and there was a vet's shoe print on the floor in blood. But there's a second blood puddle as well.
We didn't actually look at it, did we?
No, I don't think so. Yeah,
surely
I think
it's either
gain...
this or this.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the second one if it's covering up for the theft, but only if Pippin's worked out that it was him.
Yeah.
Which I don't...
Alright, let's do this one.
Who murdered Lawrence Ziggy Ziegfeld?
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be the same person.
And then,
I mean,
is it all then afterwards just...
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
Because
I feel like
there's-
he must have done something initially involving this theft and money. And there was some mention of, like, false paintings. Is he doing that?
I don't know. I don't know if he's part of that. I think my theory was... well, I didn't actually have a direct thing, but I thought the Countess and Watney Little were working on the thieving, the paintings, as was... Maybe Ziggy was part of that, because he knew the Countess.
Who murdered Ernie Leach?
Okay, that was definitely Detective O'Reilly, and that was definitely cover up a crime.
Who murdered
Because-
Yvette Delacroix?
Him again. Right?
Jealousy?
Yeah, I mean, she was sleeping around, right? And that's what he said.
Yeah, we had that scene where he was like, "You've been
If you
cheating
sleep
on
with the
me,"
girls.
you know, because she's so subtle, and he only just caught on to it.
Who murdered Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton?
Riley? Yeah. And then Cover? I don't know why she died, but again, they've been... If they... Some of them are involved in some of this,
Yeah,
like...
I think Covers seems to be sensible.
Who was the skeleton found in the steamer trunk?
that was
That
Carrington.
was Carrington.
Who murdered Dr. Archibald Carrington?
And we think that was
yeah,
Watney
Watney
Little,
Little.
right?
Who
Yeah.
impersonated Dr. Archibald Carrington?
The same dude.
Who murdered Watney Little?
Riley?
I guess so, right? Because that's going to be another just standard.
Yeah. He
That
was
and then
in
Cover.
his office covered in hedgehogs, or whatever. Which
Yeah.
Who actually stole
It feels like
the
covering
Dagger of
another
Amon-Ra
crime
from the
with
ancient Egypt
multiple
exhibit?
murders is not correct. What did she say? Oh, what did he say?
Who actually sold the Dagger of Amon Ra? From the ancient Egypt exhibit.
Was it O'Reilly?
Do you think it was O'Reilly?
Well, I don't really know.
Didn't he get called in afterwards, though? After it was stolen? He wouldn't have been there, right?
Yeah, but then why is he murdering people for what financial gain?
No, I mean, I think he's part of it, but as in... The knife was stolen.
Well, the only
dagger
other
was
people we
stolen
know
and
are
then the
criminals are
police got
Watney, who was an impersonator, and I guess he could, therefore, it could be him, or the Countess. Just go with him.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Like, I
don't
don't
actually
feel
know,
like
but
I know enough about what connects these people, like in exactly the right ways to understand.
Yeah, I mean, I think Watney Little makes...
I mean, he's a criminal who is impersonating someone, and that's the only thing we know.
We've got to work out why he's trying to impersonate Archibald Carrington, right? Because he's trying to get money. Surely it's going to be money. He's a thief.
Assume so.
Who manipulated Watney Little into stealing the Dagger of Amon-Ra?
Oh, well, there we go.
Right. Him?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So he wanted that to happen. Alright, okay.
Who was the
So it's
woman
actually the other way round,
involved
then.
in stealing paintings from the Old Masters Gallery?
Was the woman involved?
So, her?
Waldorf Carlton.
She
yeah.
definitely had something going on.
Yeah, she definitely had something to do with that, I think. Because that makes sense.
Based on what we now know, your assumption is correct, Miss Bow. Good work.
Okay.
Who was the man involved in stealing paintings?
Oh, is
from
that the only
Old
one we
Masters
got
Gallery?
correct? Watney Little?
Watney Little. Yeah.
Based on what we now know, your assumption is correct, Miss Bow. Good work. Who was the middleman who provided
That's not
forged
good.
paintings for the Countess and sold the real ones for her?
Surely that's Ziggy.
Yeah, right.
Based on what we now know,
Oh no,
your
we got
assumption is
everything
correct,
wrong
Miss Bow.
before.
Good work.
That's rubbish.
Who is the high priest of the Amon-Ra sun
Oh, I
worshipper?
think I know this one.
Ramses the G.
That's correct, Miss Bow. You're
Oh,
very
no.
observant.
So is it not the
Which museum
detective?
employee
Jesus.
runs a fencing
Surely.
operation as a sideline business?
That was Ernie Leach, wasn't
That
it?
assumption is correct. Mr. Leach was moonlighting with his own business
Oh, no.
as a fence installer. In fact, he put up a very nice
surely
fence
it
around
had
my
to
house.
be the detective.
I
Who else
have
could it?
one final piece of evidence to present, Mr. Coroner. I have an eyewitness who would only feel safe to come forth if I established my case against Mr. O'Reilly. Now that I've done so, let me introduce Dr. Patah Shep-Tut Smith of the Cairo Museum.
How is he an eyewitness?
Mr. Smith's testimony is safe with us.
Many thanks. I was in the Egyptian ceremonial room underneath the museum when Detective
Oh, he was in the
killed
gang.
2 of my fellow sun worshippers. I saw with my own eyes how he gunned them down without mercy.
Hang on,
when they
but-
tried to stop him from chasing Miss Bow.
We're not supposed to be telling
However,
anyone about
We
that.
only managed to slow him down. His hood
But,
fell
mate,
back briefly,
no! What
revealing
have you
his
done?
evil face to us as he slaughtered our people. That son of a camel should not be allowed to run free upon the sands.
Will you testify in court to what you witnessed, Mr. Smith?
Happily, sir. My dead fellows expect their revenge. Although Amon-Ra will certainly destroy O'Reilly's car when he journeys
So-
through the underworld.
So it is O'Reilly then.
I'm not qualified to give
weird.
my opinion on Mr. O'Reilly's spirit
That worried
in the next
me.
world, Mr. Smith. But I'm sure your testimony will help your dead friends sleep peacefully. Thank you for coming forth.
How incredibly
I
dismissive.
must admit that I'm impressed by your methods, Miss Bow. Not only have you identified the murderers of those unfortunate individuals, but you have also uncovered the skullduggery involving the Dagger of Amon-Ra. Our case is very strong now and prosecution can begin. The New York Police Department owes you a debt of gratitude for your assistance in apprehending these malefactors. I'm sure that a commendation of valor from the police department is in order. Thank you for your help.
Woo!
It's all that lousy reporter's fault. Damned interfering Laura Bow.
Where is he?
Thinks she can get away with squealing on me, does she? Well, she's got another thing coming.
Oh.
Do you hear me, Laura Bow? You'll pay for this. If it's the last thing I ever do.
He went full appalling leprechaun right there.
Yeah.
Thank you for waiting, Laura.
I didn't mind, Steve.
Oh my god.
Um,
Everywhere I
Laura?
put that hand, a box
Yes.
appears.
Would you mind? I mean, do you suppose... Laura, could you close your eyes? I have something for you.
Zip.
Oh, I suppose so. Oh, Steve!
What?
Do you like it?
Steve, how could you? How could you have stolen the dagger?
What?
I didn't steal the dagger, Laura. I bought this copy for you at the museum gift shop. I thought you might like a memento of your big night at the
Are we a
Leyendecker
moron?
Museum.
What?
Oh, thank you,
I
Steve.
assume we must have given it
I'm so
back,
embarrassed.
though no one mentioned
You're
it at
beautiful
all.
when you blush. Laura,
Why would you get a memento for a
Yes,
night where
Steve.
everyone was murdered?
would you consider joining me for dinner this coming Saturday?
And a dagger.
Well, I'm not sure if I don't know if I should really.
I got you this
Yes.
club.
Yes, I'd be
And a black
delighted to
hood.
join you for dinner.
I got you a tiny model
Thank
of the
you, Laura.
T-Rex
You
that
made me
chomped
very
the chomped the killer.
Oh, Steve,
Actually, that is something Steve would do.
Laura.
Look at him.
Steve!
Oh my god. And thus a relationship was bloomed. Yeah, like, the man didn't really
Since
talk...
his skeleton was so nicely cleaned by the domestic beetles, Dr. Carrington's bones will soon be hanging on display in the Leyendecker Museum.
Seems inappropriate.
Yvette Delacroix died plastered. Her remarkably
And what
lifelike
happened next
statue
is not
now
really
lives on in the
appropriate when
old
most of them are
Masters Gallery of
dead.
the Leyendecker Museum. Her memory lives on in the minds of all she touched. Her sculpture is attributed to Ryan O'Reilly, 1926.
What, they just left it there?
Pleased by your success at
They left
finding
her body
his Dagger
there.
of Amon Ra and his murderer, Dr. Pippin Carter now rests in peace. Pippin Carter's body was transported to Egypt by his cousin and now occupies a place of archaeological honor in the Temple of Amon Ra in the Valley of the Kings. Due to your success at recovering the Dagger of Amon Ra and finding the murderer, Wolf Heimlich continued as Chief of Security at the Leyendecker Museum. 2 months later, he was married to Dr. Olympia Miklos. 2 years after they were married, Wolf and Olympia had a child they named Morgana Wolf Heimlich. Having died in the course of this story, Watney Little's life of crime came to an abrupt end. As he was not a nice man, nobody missed him. Due to your success at recovering the Dagger of Amon Ra and finding the murderer,
I
Dr.
don't understand why they
Miklos
married
Wolf
because of
Heimlich
that.
continued as Chief of Security at the Leyendecker
Or
Museum.
why he remained as Chief of
2 years after they
Security.
were married, Wolf and Olympia had a child they named Morgana Wolf Heimlich.
We just had this.
As fond as he was of the Leyendecker, Ernie Leach noted in his will that he wanted his body donated to the museum. His body now resides in numerous small jars of alcohol, which will be placed on display in the new Hall of Internal Biology, adjacent to the Hall of Late Mammals. Dr. Patar Sheptut Tut Smith finally gave up on getting the Dagger of Amon Ra returned to Egypt. However, once it completed its US and European museum tours, it was returned to the Cairo Museum anyway. So, several years later, Tut died a happy man, even though his death was the result of an Egyptian cobra bite. After losing his head in the museum, Ziggy found himself unable to continue his criminal career. His head has been preserved and is now on display in the Life Mask exhibit at the Leyendecker Museum. Ramses Najir continued his successful career as an accountant and as head of the secret Egyptian cult of Amon-Ra. With his strong high society ties, his accounting business made Ramses a millionaire in 15 years. Having died from a snake bite, the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton did not live long enough to inherit any money from her last husband, Sterling. Thoroughly impressed by your success as a reporter, your editor Sam Augustini nominated you for a Pulitzer Prize and was present when you received your citation of valor from the police department. Sam retired 10 years later to become a gentleman cabbage farmer, fulfilling a secret lifelong dream. Pleased at your success, Crodfollett
I don't think we need to know about these
to become your
people.
assistant at the New York Daily Register News Tribune.
The taxi driver
Henri
continued.
Lemore, the coroner, continued his successful career studying dead bodies for the next 50 years, finally retiring in 1976.
Was this the guy who
to tour with the
interviewed
rock
us?
band, The Ungrateful
Yeah.
Dead.
Just this guy right at the end.
Low Fat continued in the laundry business,
Why do we
eventually
need to
opening
know
a
any of
chain
this?
low-fat Chinese laundries across the country and becoming a millionaire in the process. Former Detective Ryan Hanrahan O'Reilly was sentenced to 60 years in a state penitentiary. Having been a cop, O'Reilly found it hard to make friends in prison. After your successful completion of the museum assignment, you started dating Steve Dorian. Thrilled with your success, John Bow spent the rest of his life telling people what a wonderful
Have you met
daughter
my
you
dad?
were and how he had taught you everything you knew about criminology. After your recovery of the Dagger of Amon-Ra, it went back on display at the Leyendecker Museum. The large amount of press coverage drew many patrons to the museum to see the dagger. After 2 years on display at the Leyendecker, the dagger exhibit continued on a tour of museums in the United States, Europe, and finally found its way back to the Cairo Museum in Egypt.
I want to marry an archaeologist and keep his artifacts warm. I travel with him through jungles and deserts.
That's a big gun.
If he wants me to, I'll burrow and dig on burials small and pebbles big.
Oh my god.
I want to marry an archaeologist. What a marvelous gig. Mommy would love him and Daddy too. We'd be
Do you think this was the most mad game we've played so far?
It was pretty bonkers. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
Like, tonally it was kind of all over the place.
I think it was...
The chapters were crazy all over the place. Like, that last one was really fast. We had a kind of super slow beginning, really, really slow second chapter. Like, it was all... Yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
Like, we spent a full session outside the museum, then a full session, possibly two, interviewing people.
2 full sessions interviewing people.
Then we had people dying while we wandered around confused. But,
I'm just impressed we managed to finish this first time.
yeah, that we didn't miss the... We didn't get, like, a blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so fully expecting, just because of the last game, and also just how these games are, I expected there to be like, oh, you didn't pick up this, well, they're too bad.
Well, the last game didn't stop you. You
No,
were
that's
able
true,
to
you
just
just
carry on and not have any clue what was going on, which...
I guess we did, in this case,
Yeah,
to a
in
certain degree.
in the sense of carrying on a lineage, this certainly succeeded at that. I don't even fully understand who was involved with who here. Like, I feel like we've learnt that the policeman was trying to steal, and then, or he convinced a criminal to steal, then betrayed him,
Yeah,
and then
just
I spent the rest of the evening murdering everyone who might have caught him
seen
or seen him,
seen or
yeah,
heard
witnesses and things, and possibly we missed some scenes that made that clearer, maybe.
him. Potentially.
Because I don't really see the link, like, I don't know who caught him.
Yeah, the only time we had knowledge of that, really, was when Early Leech said, I've seen something I wasn't going to see, and then he ended up dead.
Like, for a game where I feel like we probably got a lot of those questions right, or at least they acted like we did, I still don't really feel like I know.
No, I would have to say, I think largely that was mostly guesswork.
I mean, for me, it was all just based on the last bit where it was...
Yeah.
He was left, and there were ginger hairs, and people calling his name.
I mean, I was leaning towards him as the killer before all that stuff had come up.
Yeah, I remember you saying, so...
But it was like, that kind of cemented it.
Just like he cemented a bit.
Nobody really had motive, particularly to kill anyone else, right? Bar, like, I guess Watney Little. But
Well,
he was
yeah.
dead very early. He was dead so early, so you couldn't really use him for, like, a lot of the murders.
Yeah, this is sort of what I don't understand. Like, did the other guy have some influence or some involvement in that other crime? Or was it 2 different crimes that kind of intersected? Yeah, I think this is a bad game. It's a shame.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was that good.
I mean, the problem is it's always fun playing this stuff because I'm just playing it alongside you and it's funny and I can cope with this. If you were playing on your own, I think I would have given up or just gone straight to walkthrough almost immediately after a very tedious beginning.
I think this game needed a walkthrough. I don't think we would have finished it.
No.
Like, some of it was just confusing.
No, and I still, right now, I don't understand, like, any, or a lot of it. Like, it was nonsense. The tunnels and the connections between different things. The logic for different things. And the solutions. And then there was a lot of pixel hunting as well.
There was a lot
of really, really specific pixel hunting that is usually what ends up leading you to a walkthrough.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, this is so loud.
And in the end, you know, we did use a walkthrough for like 3 chapters, not full 3 chapters, but bits of 3 chapters. You know, Act 3, Act 5, I think. Oh, actually, maybe it's just 2. I don't think we did anything for Act 4, did we? Didn't use it. But it was like, you know, there's a lot of Act 3, and Act 3 was the meat of the game.
Yeah. Act 3 is where it started to get a bit... I was really, really worried after the first sections, because the first bit was more like basically a crap point and click.
Yeah, it was not a very good point and click. It had loads of kind of rubbishy puzzles.
Well, just completely illogical, or like you had no idea if you were making progress, if you were going to miss anything out, or how it worked. I have no idea what was going on there, really. And then you had like a silly amount of conversation, which normally I love the conversation in these games, like, and the...
It was too much at once, though. It was so dense.
It was too much, and it was also extremely fiddly. Like the UI and the interrogation. I don't understand why they did it like that. Like to click to open the book, to click on the eye thing you want to talk, then click away to exit, and then have the piece, and then have to do that for everything. Like it just put me off. Like I don't think we barely talked to anyone after that initial thing.
I didn't want to.
No, and I don't know if there was anything pertinent within the certainly none of the walkthrough bits that we did mention. Now talk to this person and ask them about that or the other.
No.
It's like they front loaded all the talking and then went on a scream spree, and then you became the hunted one at the end.
Yeah, that Act 5 was crazy. That was so weird.
We crawled up a pipe connected to the furnace room, the boiler room, which went diagonally up and then had two doorways, one of which presumably connected to the furnace actual proper, and then the other came out of a dinosaur's mouth.
Yeah, that was insane.
Can you explain how that works?
I can't explain how that could be possible.
How is it that there's a man-sized tube inside that dinosaur?
And it turns into a doorway.
Yeah.
At the end. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I can't explain it. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like this is the silliest game we've played. Like the stupidest. The dagger being in the thing, then disappearing in the vat, but also in the
gift shop.
It barely being mentioned, like, or coming up. It wasn't even really discussed.
All the murders were kind of insane.
Yeah,
like, they just weren't feasible murder, except for Pip and Carter, who just got stabbed.
Yeah,
right.
They
all the
started
rest of
to
them
go.
Are like totally bonkers. What was the actual first one that wasn't Pip and Carter? The
next was Wally, wasn't it? Or what's his name? Wally?
Watney.
No, not Watney. It was Ziggy. Sorry.
Ziggy the second.
Yeah, Ziggy was the second, I think.
So
we basically found him, then
Pippin
walked
got
in.
Stabbed.
Yeah.
Then Ziggy got either his head cut off and his body moved, or his body moved, stabbed with a pterodactyl, and then his head cut off and put in a different room, which is ridiculous. You then had Carrington or Watney,
Yeah, being killed at
Who
his desk.
got pushed onto a porcupine on his desk and died.
Do you think it was an argument?
That one is simple enough, I guess. Yeah, just an argument, a tussle, a fight of some kind.
Because he's Watney, little, and he must have been talking to
Riley.
Detective Riley and maybe got pushed onto his porcupine.
Yeah.
Pippin's
That one's
body
fine.
gets moved as well,
Into a knight suit of armour.
for some reason.
I've assumed for no reason.
Well, I guess the argument could be to sow confusion, but that I always feel is a lame argument.
Yeah, it's a
did
weak
something
argument,
stupid. But yeah, the point is that they move around,
The
they
murders can
walk,
only
they
occur
teleport around.
If warping around the museum is a thing they're doing in real life.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
No.
I felt like the timeline was all messed up anyway. Like, it really didn't make any sense who was going to be where, and, you know, how fast they moved. The amount of time she bumped into a vet sleeping with people.
Yeah, she got around for one evening.
Yeah, quick.
Like, yeah, and managed to get made into a statue.
Yeah, using
Right.
plaster of Paris or whatever it
Well,
is.
I don't know what they did. Again, yeah, that was ridiculous. How on earth they've got like still wet paintings up on the wall, and there was no like room where this was happening.
No, it just there wasn't enough time. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Early Leech had been drowned in a vat.
Then
He smelt of the thing, and then thrown on top of some mammoth bones.
yeah, so they had to haul him up either through a secret passage or through the main the main ridiculous staff entrance.
Yeah, and he was surrounded on all sides by doors and generally people as well.
Yeah, into the main area.
It just didn't
No
didn't
one
make any
saw.
sense.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, no, people did see though, didn't they? That's actually the problem. That's the point. Is
Yeah.
everyone was seeing stuff, so he'd keep
is-
murdering people.
is
He's a
the
moron.
argument-
That's basically what is going on here.
Is that the argument? That's why he had to move people around, because he needed other people to see him in the act, so that he could then kill
Then
them.
murder the next one, yeah.
He might be the worst criminal.
He's the worst criminal I think I've ever seen.
That accent was criminal.
The accent was funny.
Oh, and I say that as a
I have to
purveyor of
say-
terrible accents in these games.
Yeah, the accents in this game were something else. I liked them, I hated them,
They're fun. They were fun.
they were great.
Yeah, but they were ridiculous and, culturally offensive.
Oh yeah.
But, so I guess your mileage may vary. Depending on how you feel about that.
They were just also awful.
Yeah, it's
Like-
just a ridiculous game. I don't know if it's going to be one that kind of I'll warm up to now I don't have to ever play it again. I was really,
maybe.
I was really, really looking forward to playing this game. After the Colonel's Bequest, which I really liked.
Yeah, I really liked the Colonel's Bequest.
And also, I've kind of always wanted to play this game. Like, I've known about it for a long time and just never played it, and I like mysteries and the idea of, like... I don't know, the Dagger of Amon Ra sounded interesting as well. So, it's been a really weird disappointment that it isn't, like, something I feel like I can laugh at it because it's crap, and that's fine,
Yeah, it's not a game you're going to go back to playing.
No,
Never, really. I don't want to play it again.
I'm curious about the stuff we missed, but I don't think I can muster up the energy to get through.
As a note, I will take a look at what the Axis 6 answers are, just in case.
Oh,
It was
okay.
being generous to us.
Yeah, because they did suddenly start going, oh my god, that's so right.
Yeah, right at the end. I was like, oh no,
It did it. That really worried me.
we really messed this up. Who murdered Pepin Carter? Detective O'Reilly. Financial gain. We got that right. Ziggy. Detective O'Reilly. Cover another crime. We got that right. Ernie Leach, O'Reilly, cover another crime. Yvette, O'Reilly, jealousy. Countess Waldorf Carlton, O'Reilly, cover another crime.
Okay.
Archibald Carrington was in the steamer trunk. Watney Little was murdered him. Watney Little impersonated him. Watney Little was murdered by O'Reilly, cover another crime. Okay, so
we
at
got
that
everything.
Point, that basically everything, right? We got Watney Little stole the dagger. O'Reilly manipulated him into stealing the dagger. The woman involved in the painting was Countess Waldorf Carlton. Man involved was Watney Little. Middleman was Ziggy. High Priest was Ramses, and the fencing was Ernie Leach. So we did get everything right.
The game must have done something right then.
Yeah, I guess.
Somehow. Subconsciously.
Yeah. I feel like maybe we'd picked up enough clues and just not written any down.
I don't feel confident. Like, I was really unsure about...
I was unsure about answering cover another crime for 4 different motives, but it did feel like the only thing that it could have been.
Well, and also for me, I wasn't as concrete on him for the earlier murders because I feel like there was no actual evidence.
Oh no, I didn't really. I wasn't running off any.
It was all based off the fact that he did the later ones and therefore must have done the earlier ones. That was my entire reasoning. They could have done a whole everyone did something thing, but it didn't make sense. So yeah, I don't know. What a weird
I don't
game.
get his whole dressing up as as death at the end.
Well, maybe he was fed up of being caught by everyone constantly.
Well, maybe
decided he'd try
have done
some
that from the
fancy
beginning.
dress. Yeah. Also, murdering you with a club.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets like a weird, like staged murder, and we just get a thunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really didn't
All right.
get much in that regard.
Okay, I don't want to think about this game anymore.
All right, you're done.
It's giving me a headache. Okay, well it's
But
done.
yeah, okay. So we're both agreed. Not good.
Not good, but
Not
fine.
a good game.
I don't like to be horrible to these things. There's always some value somewhere. I had a good time playing it sometimes. Like the overall experience was okay. It was very frustrating to play and it was a very bad game, but I like this song.